Hey YouTubers, this is Old John. Going to make a quick update on earthquake activity along the North American Craton, which if you're familiar with my videos I've outlined on Earthquake 3D, which I'm showing you here now, tracing the North American Craton Continental shelf tectonic plate that goes down through America and up through Greenland, Canada, and Alaska. First, I want to show you real quickly earthquakes that have occurred throughout the world over the past 7 days, and we're going to see if we think maybe they might be putting any pressure on the Craton. I'm showing approximately 5.0 and above. And as you can see, there's great activity on especially the west side of the Pacific Plate, which is also called the Ring of Fire. We've had 5.2, 5.2, another 5.2, another 5.2, a bunch of 5.2s, 5.7s, and even a 6.3. Along the west here, the 6.3 was in the Philippines. So there's tremendous pressure here on the southwest side. I've been saying for a while, expect some major earthquakes possibly over here, all the way down along Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, up and through Japan. Some activity also in the southern part of Indian Plate, and then we're starting to see some activity along the southeast side of the Ring of Fire also. Here in Chile, 5.2, and 5.2s and 3s up here, probably in Guatemala, Panama, that area, and then here off the coast of Mexico. Let's see if maybe this is starting to happen because of the activity on the western side of the plate, and whether it's pushing up possibly into the United States on the Craton. Okay, now to show the Craton, we have to go to a lower range of earthquakes because the quakes are not quite as severe along the Craton, but there are a lot of them. Let me change to that screenshot. Okay, so now we're seeing activity of less than 5.0. Let me zoom in here. And there again, here's the Craton up in northern Alaska, or northern Canada and Alaska, coming down through the western part of the U.S., Montana, along the edge of Nevada, down through Arizona and Texas, up through Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas, up through New England, up into Canada, up in Greenland. Okay, I keep moving back and forth here. And this is the last day. Let's start off today, now, current. There are no quakes. And then go back for the last 7 days and see what is happening. So going back 1 day, we have typical activity in Oklahoma, highest of 3.9, 2.5, 3.7, 2.5 to 3.0, about a dozen quakes here just in the past day in Oklahoma. It's alleged that this could be fracking, and They've installed, as I've said in the past, 4 additional seismographs, I think, to monitor this. I assume we'll be getting a report on this sometime as to whether they think fracking is involved. Here's an interesting quake in northeastern Texas. That, let me see here. I'm dialing back. I think that's a 3.0, which is a pretty good quake for that area. Then we had an unusual quake here in Montana, a 3.5. In northwest Nevada, which we've been seeing quite a few there lately, a 2.9. And then these are quakes in California, probably associated with the San Andreas Fault. So let's go back another day. So this will be 2 days ago. Additional quakes in Oklahoma. Additional quakes here in Montana. 3.4, 3.0, 3.5 total. And then some quakes here in Arizona. Very unusual. A 4.7 and a 2.8. Very unusual for Arizona. And then additional 2.9 here in northwest Nevada. That, I think Dutch Sense, if you follow him, I think he says this could be related. These could be related to some old dormant volcanoes, which may not be dormant now in Nevada area. This, and actually one of these quakes I thought was in Montana, and maybe it's close, but it's probably Yellowstone, this one right here, 3.4. Okay, let's continue back to the 3 days ago. Additional quakes in Oklahoma. Probably some additional quakes here in northwest Nevada. Okay, let's go back 4 days. Okay, there's a quake up north of Yellowstone, maybe associated to Yellowstone though. It looks like a 3.5. Okay. Continuing back 5 days. Another quake right here. Definitely Yellowstone area. And more quakes in northwest Nevada. Going back 6 days. Don't see any additional there except in Oklahoma. And then 7 days. A few more in Nevada and Oklahoma. Let's put the rings on these, which will tell us, give us rings which are size based on the magnitude. The larger the magnitude, the bigger the circle. Okay, so you can see all this activity in Oklahoma, and the one in Texas, the ones in Arizona, and Yellowstone, Montana area, and Nevada. So I think we're seeing an increase here, especially on the west side of the Craton. Let's turn these rings off. They're kind of obliterating everything. So, and even here you see these quakes in the 4s in Mexico. I think possibly we're getting some pressure pushing up on the Craton, especially on the west side and maybe the south side. So don't be surprised if we get some outbreaks now here over on the east side of the Craton, the New England area, or maybe the southeast part of the United States. So be prepared in case you have a quake, an earthquake in your area. Always have a plan. And if you're in earthquake zones like I am here in Missouri, I'm in the edge of the New Madrid earthquake zone. Have insurance. So looks like possibly the earthquake activity in the North American Craton could be increasing. So if you're interested in more earthquake information, go to my website, which I'll show at the end of this video, and I'll give you more information on earthquake activity. And one of the theories that as we approach the Lord's return and the end times, earthquakes will increase in intensity, much like the birth pangs of childbirth. Any of you parents know what that's like, where they become more intense and closer together. And so is that happening or not? You'll have to be the judge. Anyway, that's old John for now, signing off.